All right, let's dive into the explosive first act of Arthur Miller's classic play, A View from the Bridge. This is where all the quiet desperation of a Brooklyn longshoreman's life starts to boil over, setting the stage for a tragedy that feels as inevitable as it is absolutely heartbreaking. So let's unpack how it all goes down.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start by setting the scene in Red Hook, then we'll meet the two immigrants whose arrival, well, it changes everything. From there, we'll track the dangerous romance and the escalating conflicts that start to tear this family apart. And finally, we'll look at the big picture, how Miller brilliantly shapes this story into a modern Greek tragedy.
Okay, so our story kicks off in Red Hook, Brooklyn. You got to picture this tight-knit Italian-American community right there on the waterfront. And our guide, our narrator, is a lawyer named Alfieri. He kind of acts as the bridge, pun intended, between their world of family honor and community justice and the official American legal system. Right from the jump, Alfieri speaks directly to us, and he immediately lays down this heavy sense of doom. He's telling us from the very beginning that he was completely powerless to stop the tragedy he saw coming. The story's already over, you see, and we're about to find out just how it all went so terribly wrong. So, at the very heart of this world is the Carbone family. You've got Eddie, a longshoreman. He's a good, hardworking guy. He and his wife Beatrice have raised their niece Catherine pretty much her whole life. But as we see right away, the balance in this home is, well, it's incredibly fragile. It's all resting on a secret that even Eddie himself can't bring himself to admit. And this is where the trouble really starts. Catherine is 17, she's growing up, and she's so excited about a new job offer that promises her a future, some independence. But Eddie, he sees her growing up as a threat. He gets obsessed with how she looks. Her skirt's too short, her walk is too wavy. His concern, it doesn't feel like a father's protection. It feels like something else entirely. It's intense, it's overprotective, and yeah, it's possessive. You know how every story has that one moment that just throws a match on the gasoline? Well, in this play, it's the arrival of two illegal immigrants from Sicily. They're Beatrice's cousins, and Eddie has agreed to hide them in his home. Their arrival is about to shatter the family's fragile peace for good. And these two brothers could not be more night and day. Marco is the picture of traditional masculine responsibility. He's serious, he's powerful, and he's just driven by his duty to his family back home. And then there's Rodolfo. He's charming, he's funny, he loves to sing, and to Eddie's deep suspicion, he's got platinum blonde hair. He's basically the American dream walking. And boom, this is the moment the fuse is lit. Rodolfo starts singing the song, Paper Doll, and Catherine is just instantly captivated. And for Eddie, this isn't just some kid flirting with his niece. Oh no. In his eyes, this is a direct challenge. His home has been invaded, and his unspoken claim on Catherine is suddenly under threat from this singing stranger. As you can probably guess, it doesn't take long for Catherine and Rodolfo to start falling for each other. They're going to the movies, they're dancing, and with every single shared glance, you can just watch Eddie's jealousy and suspicion grow more and more toxic. Now, Eddie can't just come out and say what's really bothering him, so what does he do? He attacks Rodolfo's character. He tells Catherine, he tells anyone who will listen that Rodolfo is just using her. He claims the kid's only after one thing, a green card. He even points to Rodolfo's singing and blonde hair as proof that, he ain't right. Beatrice isn't blind to any of this. She sees exactly what's happening. In this really quiet but crucial moment, she gently warns Catherine that she's a woman now. She's hinting that Eddie's intense feelings are the real problem here. She's making the unspoken visible. This tension is also cracking open the deep problems in Eddie and Beatrice's own marriage. When she confronts him, asking why they haven't been intimate in months, he can't even face it. He just deflects, saying he's worried about Catherine. The implication is just hanging there in the air. His obsessive focus on his niece has made him impotent with his own wife. So, with all this conflict boiling just under the surface, it can't be contained by just words anymore. It starts to spill out into these physical displays of dominance. All of it disguised as just friendly fun. So you can feel Eddie's power in the house just slipping away. He sees Rodolfo, a man he thinks is, well, less of a man, winning Catherine's affection. So what's his move? He tries to reestablish his masculinity, his dominance, through pure physical intimidation. This scene is just a masterclass in subtext. Eddie offers this friendly boxing lesson, but his real goal is to humiliate Rodolfo. He uses the lesson to land a punch that's just a little too hard. It's a clear physical warning. It's his way of saying, I'm stronger, I'm the man here. But then the power dynamic gets a huge shakeup. Marco, who's been watching all of this quietly, issues a warning of his own. He challenges Eddie to lift a chair by one of its legs. Eddie can't do it. Then Marco, without even breaking a sweat, lifts it and holds it right over Eddie's head. No words are said, but the message is terrifyingly clear. You harmed my brother. Do not cross me. Pushed to his absolute limit, totally powerless to stop the romance, Eddie does something desperate. He turns away from the unspoken laws of his community and he goes to the official American legal system for a solution. Eddie shows up at Alfieri's office, just grasping at straws. He tries the whole Rodolfo's only after a green card thing again. When Alfieri tells him there's no law against that, Eddie sinks even lower. He suggests Rodolfo ain't right, maybe he's gay, hoping that's a reason to stop the marriage. He is frantic, looking for any legal weapon he can find to get his way. And this is where Alfieri, the voice of reason, finally speaks the taboo truth that's been poisoning the whole house. He tells Eddie straight up, there is too much love for the niece. You have to let her go. For the first time, someone forces Eddie to confront his desire, and all he can do is deny, deny, deny. So, with Eddie's dark secret finally spoken aloud, Act 1 closes with this awful sense of impending doom. To really understand why it feels so unavoidable, we need to zoom out and look at how Arthur Miller actually built this play. Miller was hugely influenced by ancient Greek tragedies, and especially this idea of the tragic hero. Now, this isn't just your average main character. A tragic hero is someone of high standing, maybe even a great person, who is brought down by a single profound weakness, a fatal flaw. Their downfall isn't just bad luck, it's a direct result of who they are. I mean, doesn't that just sound exactly like Eddie Carbone? His fatal flaw is this forbidden, unacknowledged love for Catherine. And this passion, which he can't even admit to himself, becomes this self-destructive madness. In his world, a man's honor is everything, but his obsession drives him to betray his family, his community, and ultimately himself. He's like a hero in a Greek play, totally powerless against his own nature. It's also worth pointing out how the women in the play, Catherine and Beatrice, are largely defined by their relationships to the men. Catherine's whole journey is about breaking free from Eddie's control, only to fall under the influence of Rodolfo, and Beatrice's role is often the patient, long-suffering wife. In many ways, their stories exist to fuel Eddie's tragic downfall. And this brings us right back to that final, massive question. Alfieri, our guide, he saw that dark figure walking down a hall. He knew where this was all headed, but the law gave him no power to stop it. So we're left with this to chew on. Was Eddie just a victim of fate? A man playing out a destiny he couldn't control? Or did he make choices, step after step, that led to his own destruction?